So with that being said, of course, I was late filing that motion, and then went through the administrative hearing. And through that administrative hearing, of course, even though in Florida, it's under the presumption that it's 50-50 equal time. Even though you're going through that's not what they recognize. They just recognize paternity and child support. So that administrative hearing ended with zero time sharing, but we got a number that we felt like the judge was fair with because she addressed some things on the on her side that were some discrepancies that me and G thought that should be brought up, but we didn't even have to bring them up. The judge did a fair job in doing that. So with that experience, learning that through the administrative, now we're moving on to the circuit court to try to address the time sharing, to supersede that administrative judgment. So that's kind of my experience, man. Is cut and dry. Like what G has taught me is to kind of cut out my emotions when it comes down to doing the things I need to do, especially through this process. Like it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be there's gonna be days where it's grunt, there's gonna be days where I'm feeling crazy, days where I'm feeling like I'm not gonna know what's happened. But I know if we just stay this process, I think we're gonna get a good outcome. So it was a fair experience, but I do say it was a fair experience to me because I was able to address things early and I was on top of it early from, my family members and other guys that I know. They usually sometimes get this paperwork late and that will put them in a worse position. So that was my experience.
or didn't or not respond, because what's very important if you're in Florida particularly, make sure that you file a motion to. If it were me, I would say I would file a motion to stay. Again, I have no experience or have no personal experience with an administrative court proceeding to the degree that you guys have. Mine were all judicial. So and it turned out to be beneficial. If anybody has any questions, hit the ask button, and I'm sure you don't mind answering any questions, Mike, before we get into the main topic that I think is much more pulling at a lot of people because it's become quite popular recently because of what Ant-Man went through. But if anybody has any questions, I'm sure Mike will answer. Correct, Mike?
Yeah, I got no problem answering anything.